what's going on, y'all? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And you're about to watch a little OTB LSU.
We're going to give you all the latest, greatest between LSU football, baseball, women's basketball, softball, and everything in between.
Bottom line, if you want to talk Tigers, keep it locked, subscribe, like it, and we hope you enjoy. You focus in on this LSU running back position. As some big news yesterday, LSU adding yet another player to the transfer portal, and this time it's Notre Dame transfer running back Logan Diggs. Now, this is a classic returning home situation, right? The thing that Brian Kelly's kind of made his bread and butter a couple of years here at the head of this team, but he's a Booty native who went to Archbishop Rummel. Last year for Notre Dame, he was technically RB2, but he led the team in carries. He had 165 carries for 825 yards, 4 scores. He's 6 foot 214. He is a very talented running back. You heard Matt talk about it yesterday afternoon. I thought a great exercise today would be to get Jake, the man who knows that position inside and out, to kind of give us his view of the LSU running back room as a whole, which, in case you missed it right now, Jake, I'll just catch the people up real quick before I hand it over to you to start to break it down. Obviously, John Emery missed spring with academic issues, and Brian Kelly said that the spring exams are going to be very impactful for him, so we'll learn how that went here shortly, or over time, I suppose. You had Josh Williams and Armani Goodwin missing spring thanks to injuries, and those appear to be a bit more serious than maybe I initially thought, as it's unclear as to whether or not Goodwin will be ready by the start of camp, and Kelly saying that Williams will be, but he will not be 100%. You still have Noah Cain, and you got a couple freshmen in there as well. Jake, how did you feel about the running back room pre-Logan Diggs?
All right, so the room obviously has a lot of bodies and a lot of guys that have played big-time football, but the injuries do make you a little nervous. The uncertainty of John Emery makes you nervous.
Yeah.
Now, adding Logan Diggs, I understand it completely. I will push back on people saying, and I think Matt said it yesterday afternoon, that he's unquestioned the most talented guy in that room. I'm not ready to go there. I think he is the perfect guy to add to this room, though. Mm-hmm. So that is a good thing. Because when you look at the backs that they have there, and obviously the health and the status of these running backs is going to be the most important part here. Because Armani Goodwin, very talented running back, but he's been hurt more than he's been healthy in his LSU career. Obviously, John Emery, you just mentioned it there. It's off the field in the classroom. But when you take a look at these running backs, okay, so Logan Diggs, and y'all know me, analytics, I love it. Pro Football Focus, the only running back he would grade higher than as far as a rusher would be John Emery. Josh Williams, 88.7, one of the top rushing grades in the country.
Yeah, Josh Williams was severely underrated.
Not just the SEC.
Last year.
88.7. Josh Williams had 5.5 yards per carry, 6 touchdowns. Logan Diggs, 73.5 as far as a rusher. Did average 5 yards a carry. So, again, very good addition to the running back room. Noah Cain, though, he graded out at 84.7 when he was a rusher. He had 5.4 yards per carry. So you've got 2 backs in Josh Williams and Noah Cain that I think you can trust, because Williams will be back. And this is a nice addition. That's what this is going to be. It's going to be another part of the running back room that is going to be a part of a rotation. That's what this room is.
Yeah.
And LSU, we've talked about it so many times. They've been so successful with running back by committees, right? And outside of 19 with Clyde, every championship they've played for or won has been with a running back by committee. So you still have, I mean, Armani Goodwin averaged 5.9 yards per carry.
Yeah, Armani Goodwin was
last year.
awesome.
I'd love to see him healthy.
He's got the Zion thing
out
where his body needs to stop betraying.
Yeah, it is. He's almost too explosive for his body.
Yeah.
We've talked about that as well. He graded out at 82%. So Diggs' 73.5% is only higher than Emery's 65%. All right, when you start talking about a receiver.
65% last year.
When you start talking about a receiver, this, I think, is where Logan Diggs can help you. Now, pass protection, that's another story. We'll get there. But as a receiver, he grades out as the highest receiver, 76.2. Josh Williams, only 61. Noah Cain, 50. Armani Goodwin, 56. John Emery, 60. He can help you there. He had the most yards receiving of any of these running backs. Now, 75 yards of it did come on one play in a ball game. But you know me, somebody had to get that 75 yards, and it was Logan Diggs. And so you can't just take those away. Okay, so he has big play ability. You show that when you have a 75-yarder against an SEC team. So maybe that's where he can help you the most, because in this cluster of running backs, there's not a natural receiver. I would say Josh Williams is probably the one that is the most natural receiver there, but you don't have John Emery, Armani Goodwin, Noah Cain, right? That is not their strength. Can Logan Diggs be that guy where that is his strength to this team? Now,
Make himself the third down
he
back.
could be. Now, let's get to another point. Pass protection. Graded out 6%.
Wait, what? 60?
6.
6.
Single digit 6.
He was asked to pass block like 5 times and just didn't like. What?
No.
How does that?
So there's no what?
There's
not.
You cannot grade
The
at
thing-
6 because like if
I
you
knew-
go 1
I
of
knew
10,
this was gonna be.
no, but if you go 1 of 10, that's 10%, right? So 6% implies that you have at least enough reps to where 1 win would equal 6, right? I mean, what's that, like 6 times 13, maybe? No, 6 times 15. We're getting closer, 14, somewhere in there. Whatever the point is, I guess I just don't understand how that's possible. Do we have a number of overall reps that he would have taken?
I've got it has the actual, like, he was in 95 pass attempts. It does not have the number of breakdown, but he was in 95 plays in pass attempts. Now it doesn't have if he was free release or what the situation was. I'll give you game by game. 71% against Ohio State, 0 against Marshall, 9.2 against BYU, 70 against Stanford, 73 against UNLV, 75 against Clemson, and then 6 against Navy, 0 against Boston College, and 71 against South Carolina. So I think this is more of a situation of the reps. It feels like it maybe wasn't, but it was either really good, T, or it was really bad.
Yeah.
So you like the good. You can see the good, and you can say, okay, I can be the guy. I'm Frank Wilson. I can coach him off the good tape that I saw. So, okay, that's the grade there. Josh Williams was 28%. Okay. John Emery, 28%. Armani Goodwin, 27%.
Okay, so these grades
Pro
are
Football
for some
Focus
reason
grades pass
inherently low
protection
anyway.
as maybe as hard as anything that they do.
Yeah, okay.
At the offensive line position as well. Now, Noah Cain did have 65% in pass protection. Wasn't asked to do it a ton, but he did have the highest grade there. So these backs, they all can kind of bring something a little bit different to the table. Noah Cain, north-south guy, right? John Emery, the oohs, the ahs. Same thing with Armani Goodwin. We just haven't seen enough of him. Josh Williams, steady Eddie, the guy you're going to trust. Ooh, man, it's 3rd and 11. Looking at the running backs, you grab him, you throw him in, okay? He was that all year last year. Again, graded out as one of the highest rushers in the country. And maybe Logan Diggs can find his way into that 3rd down package because he does look like the most natural receiver. He does have the big play ability in the passing game because a lot of these running backs don't have a lot of catches. Logan Diggs, 10 catches. Josh Williams, 21. Noah Cain, 9. Armani Goodwin, 4. John Emery, 13.
So how about this then, Jake? Last year, I think Josh Williams was the only LSU back to eclipse 500 yards. Obviously, Diggs coming from Notre Dame put up 850 last year. If I asked you today, Wednesday, May 17th, 2023, with a disturbing lack of actual evidence with which to base this claim off of, who is going to lead this team in rushing? I don't think that we're going to have a 1,000-yard rusher, right?
No.
Okay. So who will lead the team? Who will be? I know it's going to be by committee, but it's like the old Animal Farm thing, right? All animals are equal, but some are more equal than others. Who's going to be the most equal out of this running back by committee?
I'm still going to go with Josh Williams.
Okay.
I think they trust him so much. He was your leading rusher a year ago. He averaged 5.5 yards per carry. There was a couple of games last year where he was the deciding factor. You go back and watch the Alabama game, and I watched that tape probably 2 weeks ago. He's just all over the place. I mean, even on some of the quarterback runs down the field.
Yeah.
I mean, mauling people 10,
the
15
block
yards.
on the Jaden Daniels touchdown.
And
is a sight to behold.
And that wasn't the only one. So, gosh, if I'm putting a depth chart together, I'm still going Josh Williams, RB1, and Logan Diggs and Noah Cain are fighting like hell for that second spot in a great competition. But let me tell you something. There's a difference between a bell cow and RB1. Okay? That's a different conversation. An RB1 is what I was in 2006 and 2007, right? I was the first guy to trot out there, but we were going to have Charles Scott and Keelan Williams and Richard Murphy and Trenton Holiday. In 06, Justin Vincent was going to be a part of that. Like, we all played, okay? So, yeah, I might be the first guy that trots out there, and I'm going to be the guy that gets the most carries, but we're all going to play, okay? Same thing in a lot of these LSU running back rooms. Now, a bell cow, that's Clyde Edwards-Helaire. That's playing 93% of the snaps. No question, you're the guy. There's not another running back that's coming in a key moment. Did TDP and John Emery play in that year? They did, but not in those key moments. In those key moments, you knew Clyde was going to be out there. That is a true bell cow, okay?
Yeah.
So you're going to have an RB1 situation. So if Noah Cain and Logan Diggs are fighting for RB2, that is not a slight. They're still going out there. They are going to be a huge part of this team's success. Noah Cain in Arkansas last year, you don't have him, you don't win the game. His running style was needed in that game, right? So for that group, that trio, because right now, got the Post-it notes. I don't know where John Emery's at, okay?
Yeah, no, he's
so
like
he's to the
Zion.
side.
You got to treat him like, I know he said Armani Goodwin's like Zion with injuries, but John Emery's like Zion where you do not, like this last couple of years, you don't rely on him. He's just an added bonus if you get him. But you can't be sitting here basing your future foundation upon him.
Armani Goodwin, would love to see him out there fully healthy. He is so explosive. I just don't know that he can stay healthy, and I mean that.
Yeah.
I mean, when you watch him and hamstrings and things and muscles like that, and we've laid it out plenty of times, but if he's healthy, it's a different conversation. But until he's healthy, again, that's the trio that I'm looking at is Josh Williams, Noah Cain, and Logan Diggs. Okay? Then if you're Frank Wilson, Mike Denbrock, you sit them down. Okay, and you kind of explain what you're looking from them. What is your role going to be? Can that role change as time goes along? Absolutely, it can. It's not set in stone. But, hey, initially, out the gates, here's who I need you to be. Logan Diggs, I need you to be in there on third downs. Or Josh Williams, I need you to pick it up in pass protection. Noah Cain, your short yardage situation every time. You're north-south, whatever it is, right? So that's the trio of backs. I think they all have a different kind of skill set. Noah Cain and Logan Diggs, they're bigger backs, so they have some of that they share, but I think it's different enough because you don't want to have 3, 4, 5 running backs with the same skill set.
Yeah.
Right? I just laid out when I was playing, we all had a different skill set. I think these backs have a different enough skill set, even if you throw these other guys back into the mix. They're different enough as well.
So, Logan Diggs, a very valuable piece of the puzzle, as you see, or at least as we see it. I think we still like Josh Williams kind of as your RB1, but as we said, in sort of the animal farm sense of RB1, where, it's going to be that committee, and we'll see how it plays out come this fall. But the bottom line is, like, it's a shrewd move once again by this LSU front office, as that's a position where you could have used some further depth, some further options. You have some uncertainties hanging in the air, and Logan Diggs checks a lot of those boxes. Like Brian Kelly said on paper, he said, when you had another opportunity to add to that room, although it does on face value look crowded, we felt there were too many uncertainties based upon the way we've configured the offense. And that's where you get Logan Diggs. Wow, Jake, what incredible takes.
I mean, those guys, they're just the best.
I think so. And if you think so, again, hit the like button, subscribe, ring the bell so you get notifications when we post every single day here on OTB LSU.